Bismillah, as-salatu was-salam ala Rasulillah. In today's lesson we reached till here, and for today I will make secondary beams, and we see how we can divide secondary beams in a good way. But before I start, I want to ask you something, that if you have any suggestions to improve my videos, you can tell me in comments, and if you have any better way that I can discuss or I can make my videos on that way, you can help me. I'll be thankful for that. Okay, so let's start. For example, we go to top view. We have this beam. As you see, we have this beam, and we want to make we want to make secondary, or draw secondary beams. There's some way to make for that purpose. For example, if I see this one, the properties of it, the length of it, let's say, what's the length? It's about this distance. So it's 6 meters and 66 centimeters. So it's very good. I can draw now, or I can make the connections before for the columns, and after that I can make my secondary beams. Let me make this one. For example, I select only one of them, and I can go to here, advanced transform elements, and what we have in direction of y. If we see, it's the direction of y, so I can make minus y in this distance, and maybe if we say if we say 3, preview, or 4, I think, modify, I want to 4 of this, and preview. As you see now it's okay. So I'll say okay. I'll say okay. But if you see, there's the difference between this distance and this distance. So the difference between this span and this span. How can I solve this problem? It's very easy. I can measure the distances, or I can select everything, and what can I do? Again, go to advanced copy, and for this time choose move. Okay, move. Okay, for the move point, I want to select 2 points, that from where to where. So click here, and now as you see, we have to sorry, we have to the middle of these two beams. How we can get the middle of these two beams? You can shift and right click and get midpoint between 2 points. So this point and this point. So we get the middle of the middle point between these two beams. After that, till the middle of this beam. You see, just select the middle of this beam. Okay. Now, as you see, we have many distance in x direction, in y direction, in z direction. Just uncheck x and z direction, because I want to just move it in y direction. So that's why I don't need any x or z. So click preview. As you see now, there is this distance with this distance is the same. Okay, is the same thing. So I can just click OK. So don't forget this tip. This is very useful for you. Okay. After that, I can go to 3D. I can select this beam. Okay. I can select these beams, and I can copy it. And this is one way. Or I can, what I can do, I can make connection for this. After that, I can copy them with the connection. I can copy them with the connection. So and that's very good. Okay, that's very good. I think the columns maybe it's not enough, so I can just select everything and right click, advanced properties, I can change from IP to 220 to something maybe IP 300 or anything else. You can use it. It's, as I said before, this is just, it's not designed column. Okay, after that I can come to connections and put my connections. Okay, for this one I will use end plate, and for this one I can use another type of connection, which is the combination of the of two columns, two connections. I have a video on that, but no problem, I will make here again. And for this I will make shear connections. Okay, so we have three types of connections: end plate, and this is a combination of the columns, two connections, and this is shear connection. So it's very good. Let's start. Go to connection vault and open this menu. You can go to come to here. As you see, you can use any type of connection. It's up to you, and up to your design, of course. For example, this is single plate, single side end plate. We can use this one. When you click here, just click the first beam also, as you see, selection order, first beam and second beam. So the first beam here is the column, so select it and press space, and select this one and press space again. We have many types of connection we can make with this. Okay, as you see, now it's like this. Okay, it is like this. So I will go to I can minimize this one and minimize this one also, and I will choose another one. I will modify my connection. You have this one in place of bolts. You have this one horizontal, let's say the end plate thickness we have 12 millimeters, and bolts and holes we have 16 millimeters. And about the bolt type, I'm using this one, uni, and the bolt grade is this one. I don't have any slotted part. If I have slotted part, I can say my plate is slotted, as you see here, horizontal or vertical, or the column, main part, which is the column, is slotted. If you see, as you see, the column now is slotted, but I don't use any slot, so for the slotted part I say none, so I don't have any slotted part. Okay, for the horizontal bolt, what can I do? Let's just say total, or I can set out by bolt edge or total. What is this? This is the plate width. The plate width. Okay, so I can say the plate, my plate is the same of my beam or the same of column. So let me just double click on the beam so as to know what is it is width. So go to properties and B width. As you see here, I have a 170. After that, I can click here. I'm sorry, one of the connection parts. Right click, advanced joint properties, and what I had 170. So from here, from horizontal bolts, I want total, and I want 170. Okay, so this is the same as my beam. This plate is the same of my beam. Okay, that's very good. And what about the horizontal distance between the bolts? It means the distance between this bolt and this bolt. I don't want to take this distance for according to this plate. Why? Because if this plate is larger than this width, let me see how much this width for the column. The width is 150. Okay, so it's very good. If I take the distance, or let's say edge distance between the center of the bolts, as we know, the distance between the center of the bolts to the edge of the bolts, should not be less than 1.5 the diameter of the bolt. Okay, this is a law we have. Okay, I cannot take to the edge of the plate, because if I took this 1.5 bolt diameter from this edge, it will be less for this column. So I have to take 1.5 diameter of the bolt from the edge of the column. Okay, and this is a hint of for this type of connection. So just click of the plate again and right click, advanced joint properties, go to horizontal bolts. As you see, the bolts on the gauge line, just uncheck this one. As you see here, the distance is 88 between them. What I have, let me bring up a calculator. I have 1.5 times the bolt diameter, which is 16. So I have to minimum, I should have minimum 24 millimeters from the edge of the column to the center of the hole from now. Okay, I have 150 minus, if we say 25 by 25, which is 50, it should be at 100 at least. I can bring this down, maybe I can make it 90. I think it's okay. Why I make these exact numbers? I don't want to, for example, 87. I want to put 90 so as to be easy for fabrication, or while you are fabricating this one, it will be more easy if you have 9 centimeters and not 8 centimeters and 7 millimeters. And this is the thing behind of selecting these exact numbers. Okay. I'm sorry. And this is about the horizontal bolts. What about the vertical bolts? The vertical bolts, as you see, they set out plate from secondary or middle. I can place this plate in the middle. Okay, in the middle, or I can bolt from secondary, or I can set bolt from main. I can choose any type of this one. Let me select a middle, and I can make 0 so as to be exactly in the middle. As you see here now, the plate is in the middle. Okay, what about the distances? For example, we have only 2 bolts here. Okay, bolt distance from bottom, or bolt distance from top, or bolt distance from middle. Again, the middle. As you see, the plate length is 100, but we have this beam is 360, so at least it should be 360. It's according to our design, but I will make an extra centimeters for each of the ends. So 380. I will use 380, as you see, so as to have 1 centimeter here, 1 centimeter here. This is my connection. Maybe you don't have enough. Sorry. Maybe you don't have enough moment. You have to put some bolts outside. It doesn't matter for me. You can make this larger. Okay. And about the bolts, I think 4 bolts is enough, and the distance between them, again, let's say 85 maybe is good. Okay, 85 I think is good. As you see now, we have these 2. Okay, I will give you I'll give you a tip. As you see, we have this flat washer here, but we don't have here. How we can make it? It's easy. We can add as many as washers, spring washers or nets we want. Okay, we want or we need in the tool manager. But for now, I can change the bolt time from unit this one to this unit. I'm sorry, maybe this. Yes, this one. It automatically has two washers, two flat washers, 1 and 2. And what it needs, sometimes we need to put two washers from this side and that side, so I can use this type of bolt. And about the bolt grid, it doesn't matter. I can add some grids for this type of bolt again in the management tool. Okay. So I have 8 bolts with a grade 10.9. That's very good. After that, I will move to stiffeners. If I need some stiffeners or not from top, as you see, as I said, if we have some bolts here, I can put. Let's try that one. I think is much better. Let's say this one is 500. So I have this one. So this one, how much? We can calculate very easy. We have 500 minus 360. It's 14 centimeters divided by 2. It's 7 centimeters at each side. So from the top 7 and from the bottom 7. If we can make this one 8, so I have to put 560. So now it's this 10 centimeters. After that, I can go to stiffeners. We need from top, or we need from top and bottom, just like this. And about the thickness, maybe 10 millimeters is okay. About the length is 120 is okay, or maybe 150. And this one, I think 100 is okay. And I can give it a corner finish with 15 millimeters. This is for what? Well, sometimes you want to weld this edge, this not edge, sorry, this corner. After that, you can put this this stiffener. It means when you weld this with one line, you can, after that you can put this one very easily. I can put some beam stiffeners, as you see. If we want, for example, let's say both, I want to, for both sides, if we want some stiffeners, sometimes sorry, sometimes the weld thickness is not enough. I can or for any other purposes, maybe local buckling and any other purpose, you can make or put some extra stiffeners here. But I think I don't not need for now. After that, you can go to welds, and you see this is the number one. So it's this weld is number one. It's as you see, end plate with the web is 6 millimeters. I think 4 is okay. From the top, again, 4 is okay. It's up to you how much you want to put, or not up to you, sorry, it's up to design. I'm sorry, it's up to design. So now I have this type of connection. Okay, that's very good. I can copy this type of this connection. I can copy it or copy it by group. What's the difference between these two? I discussed before for this one. This is the copy, and it will not be the same group. Okay, so when for example, if I copied with this one, when I make some changes from this joint, it will not be applied to other joints. But while I'm using this one, create a joint in a joint group, while if I use this one, while I make any changes from this joint, it will be applied to the rest of the joints. So I want to select this one. Just select something in the beam and press space. As you see, you have two beams. Please select beams corresponding to the source joints. Input 1 from 2. It means the first one I can, because I used multiple, so I can use some of the beams. As you see, I used these 3, enter, and I can use this the beams now. I can select the beams now. As you see, it needs some time, and it will copy every joint with one time. Okay, again the same procedure. I can apply it with the same procedure, and it's very easy. Let me try again this one. It doesn't matter if I select from this joint or other joint, because they are all of them became a group. So select a part of connection, space. Again, it gives tells you that you have to select. So I will select every columns and enter, and after that I can select the beams. Every beams I can select. And enter. Okay, so now I made every connections for I made every connection, or I copied every connections from this one. Okay, why we make this one extra, or let me say why we increase this one, so as to put some bolts here. Okay, I forget that, but I will make now. As you see, I copied every connection, but I have some mistake here. So I want to solve it now. Just click here and right click, advanced joint properties, and go to plates, vertical bolts, and the distance maybe 120 is okay. So the I can bolts come down and go up. I don't think that. Let me change this one to 5, and let's say 5 volts we have, and we see the difference. Okay, now I think it's okay, right? I think it's okay. Or you can use not only one groups, you can use as many as groups you want. Okay, this one. So I made changes. Now it's okay. I made change only for this connection. Okay, what about the rest? I have to modify them also? No, it modified automatically. Everything is modified now automatically. Why? Because I use it multiple with a joint. But if I use this one, it should be modified one by one. And that's the difference between these two. And this is the multiple, and this is single and multiple. This is another kind of this is multiple, and this is single. Again, if you select single, it means you have to every time select the part of the connection, select the column and the beam after that. Every time you have to repeat this procedure. But when you use multiple, you can use the first element, which is columns. After that, the beams, as we did before. If it's this is not clear, please let me know below in comments. Okay, I made these connections. After that, I want to make this connection. For this type of connection, any type of connection that I can use, I don't know. As I said, we can use the combination of two, or we can use really I want to use a connection that it will be easy for fabricating later. Okay, and it's not any type of connection. I have here end plate. I think it's not this is not good for fabrication. We will face some problems erection procedure. Let me see if we have some kind of joints. We can use this one. Maybe this one. Yes. One of the type of connections that can I use. This is this type of connection, and this type of connection I will use with sheet connection. Okay, so I will put it here in the favorites, and I think I added it to favorites, right? Yes. Now if I go to favorites, I have to someone which is the sheet connection, this one. No, sorry, this one. Okay, so I want to use this too. Sheet plate, and after that moment plate. I have sheet and moment. Okay, so click here, just click the first thing, which is the column, hit space, and after that beam, hit space. What I used, sorry, I used end plate, so I don't want this one. Just delete this one and go to sheet plate first. Sheet plate, and first column, and after that beam. Yes, now it's very good. I have this one. As you see, I have if you have many complex building, you cannot see in every time. You can go to and see this one, only see this joint. How we can make? Let me first. Yes, I have these two. How we can make? Go to where's the advanced tool palette? From selection, you can just click here, click on joint box, and click here. You want to see in which direction. For example, from we want to see from this direction, and click sorry, space. And about the extension in X, Y, and Z, I think 1000 is okay. So space 3 times. Okay, so it opens only a view of this connection. Okay, after that, just click here and right click advanced joint properties. I will not discuss for this three. This is the properties. You can if you sometimes you have some kind of connections, you can switch between them from here. A library, if when you have a joint or some properties, you can save it in library, or you can make a joint design. Okay, let's say go to let's jump into cuts and stiffeners. Cut and stiffeners, as you see, we have cuts in cut back set out. We have from system line, from face, and from flange. What's the difference between them? From face, it means from this web, this green. It's now I think it's green. From this green, and it gives it take 10 millimeters, or from the system line. If you have the system, you see when we change. I'm sorry for this. From face, it was from face. If we switch to let's say switch to wireframe. Okay, you see this red line. This is the system line. Okay, from the system line, or from the face, let's say this green, and or from the flange. I will use from the flange. Go back from flange. It means from here. Why I use this one from flange? Because it's more. It will not. I will not face any problem for fabricating. It's very easy. You see, from the flange I have 10 millimeters. I can this one make 20 or anything you want. For the top notch and bottom notch, I will not discuss now. If you have, if you want to, for example, if you want to make this connection inside the beam, not column, inside the beam like this, you can make this notch, top notch, bottom notch, or you can put some stiffeners from the other side. If I think this, this is for the beam. I'll discuss later for the sheet connections. Okay, after that you can put beam stiffener or column stiffener. I will discuss this later, inshallah. Okay, about the plate, as you see, I have a plate 10 millimeters. Again, I can change it to 12 millimeters. I can change it from side left to right. It's up to me. Okay, again, I will let me finish this one. After that, I will discuss to something, because why? Because as you see, we made the beams in the middle, right? The beams, we made the beams in the middle, but now this plate is not in the middle, so I have to move this beam with its connection by the half of the width of the plate. So why? Because so as to this plate became in the middle. Okay, so as to this became in the middle, so I don't I can get more symmetry beams columns, sorry, and it will makes me to decrease my drawings later. Anyhow, we have this one, the shape, if I want rectangle, or I can use flanged both, this one, or I can use rectangle. It's up to your design. If it's enough this welding, you can leave it as it is, or you can change it. After that, the plate shape, it's straight or not. If when you have some inclined columns, you can inclined beams, sorry, you can make like this, or you can make like this shape. Anyhow, we our element is straight, is horizontal, and we don't have this one. After that, go to bolts and holes. You can change it to 16 or whatever you want, whatever you would use. Again, this one I think is okay. About the slots, but if you have slotted, you can use it, no problem. For the horizontal bolts, as you see here, these we have two bolts here for the horizontal. Again, I cannot take, or not I cannot, but it's better I use from not from the plate, set out from the plate, from the end beam end. Okay, from beam end, because if I take it from plate, I have to calculate the distance between from the face to this one, to the edge, and after that I have to put some extra, which is, I said, 1.5 of diameter. Okay, so as not to go to this calculation, I can use this from the end of the beam end. Okay, so what I have, edge distance, I can put 40. So from this face I have 40 to the center of the bolt. Okay, again, from the end I can use the same thing, the end, which is from center of this and to the end of the plate. Let's try 50. You see, this is 40. Okay, and this is the 70, which is the distance between these two. We can change it to 80, to 60, whatever you want, according to your design. It's very good. What about the vertical bolts? As you see, the vertical bolts, we have from what? We have a plate from secondary, not main, it's the secondary plate from the secondary. But I always prefer to use middle. Why? Because if you use middle, this beam will be the same distance from this. Let's go to here. Sorry. Yes. If we use it from middle, so this distance, the center distance of this bolt to the edge of this flange, or let's say to the top of the beam, will be the same with this bottom of the beam to this center. So in fabrication process and in erection process, it will not be any difference between this if we put this beam like this, or we put it 180 degree, we rotated 180 degree, so it will be benefit for later stages. Okay, after that I can use this one. When we reached here, we can use 2 bolts, and the start intermediate distance between them is 100. Well, what's the start and end distance for now? You see the plates, for example, 40 is this plate, and again let's say start and end distance the same thing, okay, so it's not to be difference between if we put in during the fabrication process, if you put this plate like this, or you rotate it 180 degree, you will not have any problem. After that I can put some extra stiffeners, but for now I don't want. Again, the type of welds, we have 2 type of welds, shop and side. Let me first change this one to 4 millimeters, and I will discuss the difference between these two. Shop welds and side welds. When this weld, which is this weld, when this weld will be shop, so it gives me this plate welded with unassembled drawing, that this column will with this plate, okay, because this is shop. I have to weld this one in the shop, but when I give it this one side, it will not give me the same assembly. If I have this one is side, and when we make shop drawings for this one, it will not give me this plate welded with this column in assembly drawing. That's why I have to change it to shop. Weld stiffener, when you have, sometimes we can use it. If we weld to secondary, you can use this one welded to side or not to this one, to the beam. Sometimes if you want more safety, you can weld it after you put this beam, you can weld it with this beam again. Anyhow, I don't want anything. And punch mark, you see, you can put some punch marks for stiffener, or for shear plate, or for any you can put it for both of them. Punch marks, it's easy, you can put it. Okay, I put this one, so I finished this one. Again, I have to go back to visible all. Okay, I make this connection. What I will make again in the same procedure, I have to select, I have to select a part of connection, enter or space. I want to select every columns first, or I can just orbit around, select every columns, enter, and I can select beams now, which is this beams, yes, again this one, okay, I select everything. You may ask me why I select this one, because I have another connection here. That's why I select this one, and just click or hit space. It needs some time, and it will give you every connections. Right, every connections now is good, and in it is place. Okay, I will go back, change UCS to the wall, because I want to move this beam. As I said, I have to move this one, because now the beam in the middle, but the plate not in the middle. So I want to the plate be in the middle. So what can I do? I can select every beams, this. Every beam is now selected. So I want to move this one. Go to here, tools, advanced copy, and go to move. I can select everything, click here, just click here, and you see in the polar what I want. I have this plate is 12 millimeters, so I want to just 6 millimeters, which is the half of the plate thickness of the plate. So just click preview. Okay, so now these plates are in the middle. Let us check. Let's go to change to wireframe. As you see now, plates in the middle, or not. I think I have some mistake, or not. Let me click again. Yes, it's 12 millimeters. I'm sorry. I think it's yes, it doesn't change. It doesn't change because I didn't select something. Okay, again, so again, advanced copy, and go to move. For the selection, just P. It means preview. Enter. I have to click include additional connections. Okay, just click preview now. Now, as you see now, is plate. I think is in the middle. So let me see, or not. No, I think before was correct. Let me change it by distances. DLI for distance between this to that one, 140.7, and yes, you see the difference between this. Maybe when we made this beam, it's not in the middle. Again, let me change sorry, check another one. It's the same thing. Here is the same thing. As you see, here is the same thing. I think I have some mistake with that one. Let me check some others. DLI again. So no, again I have some problem here for that one. Where is it? I'm sorry for this. What we can do, we can select every beams, or if we select by another way, go to advanced copy, and from here selection is, we set the selections, and from, I'm sorry, for movie, for move, sorry, previous, yes, enter. So for the point is, again, we can use the middle point of the plate to the middle of the beam. How we can get the middle of the beam? Shift, right click, midpoint between 2 points, maybe this point and this point. Again, I want just in Y direction, and preview. Okay, I think now it became the plate became in the middle. Yes. Okay. So the plate became in the middle. Okay, so it's very good. I have connections here. Let me change it back to conceptual. I have connections, I have sheet connections, and again I can use not only sheet connections, I can use another connection with this one. Let's say moment connection. What's our connection? Let's go to connection vault and this moment connection. Click this one and this one after that. It's like this. Again, this connections has many things. You can check it. The same procedure. You can change the plate thickness, distance along this one. This maybe 2 is enough. The horizontal distance, the horizontal distance maybe 80. I don't know. As we said, we have to calculate this one. Let's say the its width 135. So what we can use, we can 135 minus 50. It should be 85 at least. So we can use this one 85 again. Select one of them, right click and advanced joint properties. Plate is bolt across 85. I think is okay. 85, and the rest is the same thing. We can use 16, any type of walls. I don't want to make. We can here we can plate bevel. We can make chamfer for this plate so as to be welded, filled welded. Okay, or we can use any other things. I don't want to discuss about it's the same procedure. After that I will come to copy connections again. From this one, click a part of connection, and after that select columns just like this, and maybe if I select columns like this is better. And after that just select beams, and hit space. Okay, as you see now, everything is okay. I think is okay. Very good. It remains only the connections for this one, and I will make them. Let's go to go to connection, minimize this one, go to connections, sheet plate. I will use sheet plate for this one. Select beam first and select this one. Okay. If you see, we have a top notch here. As I said before, I will discuss this one. Sometimes when you use from face, this one from face, it will gives you a beam like this. Let me make a selection or view on this joint. Sorry, this one in this side. Yes. Okay, sometimes when you use the from face, we have, so if we see from here, we have from face 10 millimeters. This is the 10 millimeters, and the beam became like this. As you see, we have top notch. Or I can avoid this one by making this from flange. Right click, advanced joint properties. As I said before, I can make it from flange. As you see, if you don't want to make this one. Otherwise, if you want, you can select from face, and after that go to top notch. As you see here, it's 20 millimeters. You can make it 25, or this one, the depth, you can make it 25, or whatever you want. But again, I don't want to make extra works. This is not good for fabrication if you don't need. So go to from flange, I think is better, 10 millimeters, and after that plate width is 10 millimeters, I think is okay. And after that, what we have welds and weld stiffeners, sorry, what are the stiffeners? Horizontal bolts, additional plates. You can underneath make an additional plate, or above we can make an additional plate. No, go to here. Yes, the stiffeners. From beam stiffener, we can put beam stiffener. As you see, if you want to put a stiffener outside, you can put this stiffener, or you can use again column stiffener, which is in this side. You can make a stiffener for this side. Anyhow, I don't put stiffener from here, but maybe for this side or not. If you put this one in this side for the other connections in the middle, it will not be okay. But we can put here. Okay, you can put it. It means what I mean when I copy this one, I want to copy it or make it a little faster. I don't like. I want to make only one group, so that's why I will not put any stiffener. I think okay. I assume that I have no stiffeners here, so I will remove. I will uncheck this one. Okay. After that, go back to show all, and copy this stiffener. Again, I have to make some changes. Put it in the middle. I don't know about the bottles, horizontal bolts, plate, beam, and 40 by 40. One row I think is okay, and vertical bolts, let's say 3, and again in the middle. I'm sorry, in the middle, and the distance between them is 50, 75 maybe, and start distance 40 and by 40, start and end distance 40 by 40. Okay, I didn't check any type of connections here. I can check it. It's better when you make a type of connection, make a class checking. If you have some problems for that joint, you can make it or fix it before you copy for the rest of the beams. Okay, I will make later, no problem. I can copy this one again, this beam and this beam. After that, into our space. So I copied every connections, right? After that, the last thing for this tutorial, I go to change my UCS and select these beams and copy them. Or I think for the next tutorial, I think this one is better too, because I think it's about 1 hour I'm talking about this tutorial. So I will make this in the next lecture. So thank you very much for this. If you have any suggestion, don't forget to write me down in the comments. Thank you.